Hello, it's me, Daryl, Florida Catholic guy. Just out walking the dog. 6:55 and sun has gone down. It's pretty dark, still in twilight, but beautiful day. It's in the mid to upper 80s today, and a little humid, not bad. I was out riding my bike today. I took the Harley down. My mother had to get her prescription Walgreens, so I rode my bike down. Let's go. I rode my bike down to Walgreens and home. Didn't do too good, but didn't kill myself either, so I guess it's all right. So it's been a while since I've been riding out on the road. Hi.
Can I pet it?
Sure. You might jump a little bit.
Oh, from Colorado. That's the right time to get a dog. You are adorable.
You're welcome. And anyway, I rode the Harley down to Walgreens and back. What I mean by I didn't do too good was, when I'm in my car going down there, I always miss it's a left-hand turn I have to make, so I always miss the turn, and I end up going by it, having to do let's go, Shadow. End up having to do a U-turn and go back, which is no big deal, because there's opportunities for U-turns every, I'd say, probably a couple 100 feet. So it's not really that big of a deal. But before I went today, I looked up the directions on my trusty little Google Maps, and I used a landmark of the church that I went to once, but it's 3 turns, left-hand turns after the church. So I got to the 3rd left-hand turn after the church, and it says, gee, I don't even see Walgreens here. It must be the next one. Well, sure enough, as I go by it, I actually didn't see it, but I knew I had missed the turn. So I had to do a U-turn, and that was a disaster. Took it too wide, and they're doing construction on the road, so I didn't hit any cones, but I was in the what would be the breakdown lane, so I had to stop and make sure there was no traffic before continuing on my journey. Then I turned down. There's a side street to turn down just before the actual road you can go to Walgreens on. I turned down there figuring I could at least avoid one light. And when I turned onto the side street, there was one car. I had the quote-unquote right-of-way, and there was a car at the stop sign, and took that corner too wide, mostly because I was worried about the car and what they were going to do. And when I took that too wide, it ended up on the sidewalk. Luckily, there was no other traffic, foot traffic or otherwise, so that kind of ruined my ego a little bit. But anyway, I got going again. It was all right. Stalled it a couple times in the middle of traffic, so that was embarrassing. But it's like I told my Mom, I says, I really haven't had much practice on it. They said it was only like my second trip in traffic when I had my drop, and it was gone for like 3 months after that, getting repaired. And this is the first real ride in traffic. I've taken it around the block up here to get my mail a few times, but that's not that far away. But this was my really first time in traffic since I got my bike back. And I just found that I need practice, so I don't kill myself or someone else. But other than that, it was fun to get out, and you know, I'll do the practice that I need to do to help myself out. And so I want to talk a little bit about the results of Super Tuesday yesterday. Old Crazy Bernie's getting screwed again. And I don't know, they keep giving this guy the shaft. This time the old fake Indian staying in really hurt him. So basically, excuse me a minute, I gotta pick up his stuff, his deposit that he made. Hopefully I can find it here. Let's see if I can do this without. Oh, I'm gonna have to stop this. It's me, I'm back. Getting dark. Don't know how well you can see me. But yeah, I was talking about yesterday's Super Tuesday results, and how they're sticking it to Crazy Bernie again for the second time in a row. So they got the Party of Diversity, the Democrats, have an old white man with dementia and an old white man that had a heart attack. So it looks like the only diversity they have in the Democrat Party is a diversity of medical conditions. So this ought to be interesting. I think Trump blows away any of them they got. And Mini Mike, he dropped out. So thankfully I won't have to worry about watching his campaign videos on YouTube anymore. And a whole bunch of them dropped out before the before the Super Tuesday election. Bloomberg, and I thought there was another one that dropped out, but come on, Shadow, over here. The fake Indian should drop out. Come here, Shadow. Shadow. The fake Indian needs to drop out. She was just screwing Bernie. Uh, I think she's getting paid off by the Democrats to help Biden, especially if she doesn't get out by the next election. Let's go. But anyway, Uncle Joe is, I guess, the new front runner. Creepy, crazy Uncle Joe. I know Crazy Bernie is his name, but Sleepy Joe. That's Sleepy, Creepy Joe. Saw another picture of him fondling a not much older than a baby last night or the day before. Just can't help himself around kids, I guess. I don't know. Honestly, I think Biden's handlers need to be put up on charges for elder abuse, because this guy is so sad. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know where he's going. He doesn't know what he's saying. He can't even put two sentences together. Yesterday he called I think it was his daughter, he called her his wife. That was embarrassing, but pretty much anything that Sleepy Creepy Joe does is embarrassing. And all Biden's handlers are, oh yay, this is good, we got Biden in the lead again. Biden's not going to be president. Number one, even if by some act of Satan he did win, because sure wouldn't be an act of God if Biden won. It would be from the other guy. Come on, Shadow, let's go. But even if he should win the presidency, he doesn't know what he's doing. So it's all his surrogates that are going to be running the government. And not to mention, if he did win, that means the deep state has won again. And, I know there's going to be voter fraud and everything, because that's the only thing the Democrats have. So, as conservatives and Republicans, we really have to be careful and really monitor these elections, especially in Democrat areas, because with the way the votes went yesterday, there's absolutely no way that a Democrat can win, because the states that had Republican elections, primary elections, President Trump, even in Democrat areas, got more votes than any Democrat, more votes than any Republican ever in a primary. And Sleepy Creepy Joe can't even get 20 people to show up at his rallies. I don't agree with anything Bernie Sanders says or does, but even he has more people at his rallies than Biden has. So, kind of makes me wonder if there was some sort of voter fraud on the part of Sleepy Creepy Joe yesterday to steal it from Crazy Bernie. That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, yeah, I think Klobuchar, Buttigieg, and now you got multi-billion-dollar man there, little mini Mike, all endorsing Joe, so that's gonna give him help. If Pocahontas, if she would drop out and endorse Bernie, that would give him a boost for the remaining states. I think the biggest prizes now is my state here in Florida, and probably New York. It's also interesting, the states that creepy Sleepy Joe spent the most time in went against him. The states that he didn't spend any time in went for him. So it's like the more people know about Joe, the less they vote for him. I mean, any of the Democrats, no matter who it is, Biden or Bernie or any of them, I guess probably it's going to be either Biden or Bernie. If I had to put my money on it, I'd say Biden, just because I think the Democrat deep state is all in for him, and they're going to do anything they have to do to get him elected, at least to be the nominee. But they're going to be a disaster. You know, Bernie's a communist, so we know what he would do. But people say that Biden is a middle-of-the-road guy. He's not a middle-of-the-road guy. He's best way to say it is a local socialist. And what I mean by that is he would take us down the same road as Bernie is doing, but at a slower pace. Bernie would just do it overnight and say,